I was newly wed to a gentleman of means. My ticket out of these rotten boroughs into an infant society where I could establish myself without fear of being judged by my past. And yet something tugged at me as we drove towards Southampton. A deep-seated urge to seek shelter, to be happy with my meager lot in life, rather than to forge ahead haplessly into the unknown. I banished these thoughts from my mind as best I could, willing myself to focus on the cradle of New York City, which awaited mine and Robert's arrival some 5,000 kilometers away. I was one of the lucky few afforded the opportunity to travel on the RMS Titanic. I was curiously uncertain about many things, but I knew without a doubt this would be a journey I wouldn't soon forget.
Good morning, sir and madam. Welcome aboard the pride of the White Star Line RMS Titanic. May I have your boarding passes, please?
Of course. Here you are.
Ah, Mr. Ashley, an honor, sir. And madam?
Robert, don't you have my boarding pass?
No, I gave it to Montague. He was to give it to you.
Well, he didn't. At least, not that I remember.
Mr. Ashley, madam, perhaps you could step aside until you find madam's pass.
Have you found your pass yet, my dear? I need to get settled and have a bath.
Montague, do you have my boarding pass?
Margie?
Mother? What on earth are you doing here?
I came here looking for you, Margie, to beg you not to go to America.
Mother, we've discussed all this. I have a new life now, a husband.
Oh, yes. You mean the husband what made you renounce your own blood? How could I forget?
We'll be back for a few weeks this winter. If you insist, we can discuss this further then. Right now, I have to find my boarding pass.
If I may, madam, I have both of our boarding passes right here. Just a moment. They're gone. It was that boy. That boy stole them.
Crate is full of cigarettes bound for the New World. It looks tightly sealed. The rope appears strong and thick. Little boy, did you steal some papers from that man over there?
What? I never did nothing.
What's your name?
George.
George. That's a pleasant name. I don't want to hurt you, Georgie, I promise. Why don't you just give me the papers back and we'll leave it at that.
Get stuffed, lady.
That doesn't look like your usual piece of baggage. I hope that's not what I think it is. George, get out of that car this instant!
No, you can't make me.
I only want to speak to you properly. What if I gave you a present? Would you like that?
Got any cigarette cartons?
No, and even if I did, I wouldn't give them to a little boy. I'm convinced they're not good for you.
What I want cigarettes for? I want the little cards what come in the packages. I've got almost 50 already. I'm going for a full set. You promised me a cigarette card. I'm not talking to you till I gets one.
I'm most sorry I lost your boarding pass, madam.
Oh, please rethink this, Margie. This ship just don't feel right to me.
No, that won't work. I believe that crate is full of cigarettes bound for the New World. It looks tightly sealed. I don't think that's its intended use. The rope appears strong and thick. That doesn't look like your usual piece of baggage. I hope that's not what I think it is. I need to use that in a different way. That worked like a charm. I'll just grab the cards out of the cartons before anyone notices the mess. Ten should do the trick. George can't possibly have all of these. Here you are, George. Now can you return what you stole, please?
What I want with a bunch of lousy papers? The other ones what took 'em.
The other one?
The other one there, the lady. I saw her pick up the papers while the old bloke was busy beating on me.
Give me back my boarding pass, Mother.
What? Oh. Oh, well, I did find a boarding pass, come to think of it. Is it yours? Oh, dear me, I'm so very sorry. There you go.
I can't believe you, Mother. Give Montague back his as well.
Well, I only found one. If, as you say, there was a second pass, it must have blown away.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. I'd best pop off to the ticket office and purchase another pass. And the ship's about to leave port.
Well, I'll be going myself. Must take my medication. So long, Margie. Farewell. Have a good trip. I'll see you come winter.
Ah, thank you, madam. All appears to be in order, and good thing, too. It would have been a shame to miss out on such an historic voyage.
Indeed. I fancy a bit of lunch. Care to dine at the Café Parisien?
I'm not hungry at the moment. I'd just like to spend some time settling in if it's all the same to you.
Not a problem. You know where I'll be if you need me.
I'm in no mood for a proper lunch with Robert, but a boiled egg might hit the spot. Too bad reaching into that water would scald my entire arm. The spoon doesn't reach. That isn't its intended purpose.
Ah, you've arrived. I ordered without you. I didn't think you were coming.
That's quite all right. I'm not feeling well anyway. I've no appetite at all.
Perhaps you just need to get your sea legs. Might take a while. But do try and act yourself by this evening. We'll be dining with the captain. Feeling any better?
I'm surely on the mend, but still a bit wonky.
We'll snap out of it already. We're meant to remember this journey for something other than your delicate nature.
The eggs are too far down in the pot. I need to find a way to bring them to the top. Seems the little fellow just doesn't want to let go of that perch. Seems the little fellow just... that... This looks like a nice place to perch. No. Seems the little... This looks like a nice place to perch. This looks like... There's nothing left to do here. I've done all I can at the moment. I can't do that. My fingers are not quite slender enough to grab hold of the notch. There's nothing embarrassing about that. Ah, yes. I'd forgotten about this false bottom. I can't for the life of me remember what I stored there. There's nothing left to do here. No, that won't work. This looks like a nice place. No. I can't do... What have we here? A secret passage? I'm an inquisitive kind of girl. Let's see where this leads.
I'm Dean Tavalouris, and you've entered my private sanctum, one that I designed into the plans from this ship's very inception.
You designed this ship?
Well, Not exactly. I was employed as an assistant shipwright. I was placed in charge of all the less glamorous aspects of shipbuilding. Plumbing, cargo holds, engines, that kind of thing.
Ah, so you slipped in a little private stateroom for yourself and now you're a stowaway on your own ship. Is that it?
What I have built here is a network of halls between halls, that I may bear witness to history in the making. I silvered mirrors on several decks so that I can see out, but nobody can see in.
To each his own, I suppose. I'll be leaving now.
Most certainly. Oh, but you cannot leave the way you came in, I'm afraid. One-way door.
I should have guessed as much. So how do I get out of here?
Down the second hallway. There's another mirrored door which opens into the first-class parlor. Just try not to be seen leaving, or we'll both end up in the stockade.
I think I see some matches under there. If I'm going to be walking around in these tunnels, I'll need a lot of them. That should do it. If I end up needing more than this, that will mean I've really lost my way.
My dear girl, do be careful when you're wandering about in these tunnels.
I closed the vent. It looks as if there's a section of pipe missing. That isn't its intended purpose. No. That must be the door Mr. Tavaloris was talking about. There are some people standing on the other side, so I can't use it. I could probably make out what they're saying to each other if I tried. It looks as if there's a section of pipe missing. I closed the vent. Maybe if I put my ear against the mirror.
But of course, it never came to pass because the... What was that? Did you see that?
See what?
I swear I saw some motion behind that mirror.
That man could see me when I got close to the mirror. I'd best not try that again. I can't. If I get too close to the mirror, they can see me. Oh my goodness, what if they never leave? Robert will not easily forgive me missing dinner with the captain. I need to use that in a different way. I recognize this crate from the dock. It's got a lock on it. But randomly guessing at the combination would be fruitless. That opened the valve. That looks like one of those newfangled smoke and heat detectors. Sounds an alarm when the temperature gets too high, or if the room floods with smoke, heaven forbid. That... I opened the vent. It looks as if there's a section of pipe missing. I need to use... I opened the vent. I closed the vent. That opened the valve. It looks as if there's a section of pipe missing.
My dear girl, do be...
I opened the vent. That closed the valve. I closed the vent. I closed the vent. That closed the valve. That opened the valve. I don't... I recognize... I closed the vent. I need to use... I recognize... That opened the valve. I've routed the steam into the next room. I opened the vent. I opened the vent. I closed the vent. I opened the vent. I closed the vent. I've routed the steam into the next room. That opened the valve. The steam fogged up the mirror. Maybe now I can get close enough to listen to their conversation without being spotted.
It's a priceless mummy of the pharaoh Menkaure. That's why it's secured with a combination lock. I used my birth date as the combination. The month, the day, and finally the year.
That's probably not a smart thing to tell me. I'm psychic, you know. I could easily guess your birthday.
I don't see how that matters. If you're truly psychic, you'd know the combination regardless of whether it was my birthday.
March 21st.
Not even close.
Right. But the month's got an A in it. Or an E.
Actually, no. Forgive me for saying so, but you're not very good at what you do. I will tell you that if you take the number of letters in the month times itself, you'll get the day.
Tut tut. Say no more. I have it sussed. So, what year were you born?
That's an impertinent question to ask a lady. Nevertheless, my lack of confidence in your ability is such that I would gladly part with that information. I was born in 1867.
Now that I have a little more information, let's see if I can decipher the combination to this lock. Sarcophagus. It looks thousands of years old. I think I'll hang on to the shroud that was covering it. It's a ventilation shaft. Sounds like there is a fan behind these grates. That closed the valve. That opened the valve. I closed the vent. It looks as if there's a section of pipe missing.
My dear girl, do be...
I've routed the steam into the next room. That set off an alarm. I'd best make myself scarce.
Excuse me for interrupting.
Oh, not at all.
It's just that the heat sensor in hold number 4 went off, and the captain thought you should be alerted.
Hold number 4? Men-Cow Ray is in hold number 4. I've got to be sure it's okay. Excuse me, both of you.
At last. I'd better sneak out while I can.
Ah, Mrs. Ashley, I've found you. I witnessed an event below deck a short time ago which I thought would be of interest to you.
Pray tell.
Well, I was endeavouring to check in some of Mr. Ashley's valuables with the ship's purser when I chanced to see a middle-aged woman arguing with a steward. She was demanding to be allowed up to the first-class cabins.
Please don't tell me it was my mother.
I'm afraid it was.
The schemer. She had your boarding pass after all. I need to find her and have a word. You said the steward escorted her back to steerage.
Yes. However, I'd imagine they would be no more inclined to let a young, upper-class woman down into steerage than they would allow your mother up here.
Then I'll simply have to find a way to sneak down. I don't recognize that game you're playing. Might I ask what it's called?
I haven't the slightest idea. That fool psychic Yannick said that if I wished to get a proper reading from him, I had to first separate his spirit deck into 2 separate chakric spheres. Spirit deck, indeed.
Did he tell you how?
Oh no, that would be too easy. He gave me this temporal oracle, which I might add looks exactly like a poorly made pocket watch, and said the hands would guide me. The fool. Would you care to give it a try? I can't make head nor tails of it.
Yes. All right. Mm-hmm.
take a quick look.
You did it! Thank you so much. It seems so elementary in hindsight. I'd better go find Yannick, which won't be difficult. He calls himself a medium, but I'd say he's more of a large.
Anytime, Odette. Good luck. Odette left her tea cake behind. I'm sure she won't mind if I put it to good use. I've nothing to collect it with. It'll just fly everywhere.
Mrs. Ashley, I trust your day is going well.
As well as can be expected, thank you. I don't know the code. Full of life jackets. Hopefully we won't have any use for them on this trip. I need to use that. George, what are you doing up here?
I didn't do nothing, and you can't prove that I did.
Oh, really? You didn't make this mess.
Oh, no. Someone took me favorite book. Went right off of it. I ain't going nowhere till I get it back.
Is this the book, George?
Oi, that's it. I knew they had it.
Well, that's a happy ending then. So are you going to clean up this mess before you run off to read? Marvelous. Gets what he wants and off he goes. Guess I'll have to clean up. snug as a bug. Oops. A library card fell from one of the books. I'll hang on to it for the moment.
Where to, ma'am?
F-deck, please.
I'm sorry, ma'am. F-deck is for third-class passengers only. Good evening again, ma'am. Where can I take you?
F-deck, please.
Begging your pardon.
Mrs. Ashley.
As well as can be. This should help me learn which buttons get pressed. Oh, I bet. There's nothing left to do here. Oh, I'd better not. It'd wipe away the powdered sugar.
Mrs. Ashley, I trust your day is going well.
As well as can be expected, thank you. Seagulls. They look hungry. The crumbs from the tea cake may attract those seagulls, but there's no point in doing that now. I can't do that. Seagulls. They look hungry. It's a tub full of life jackets. Hopefully we won't have any use for them on this trip. There's nothing left to do here.
Good evening again, ma'am.
F-deck, please.
Begging your pardon.
That is... I need to... No. Could you bring me my coat, please?
Of course, Mrs. Ashley. Wait here. I won't be a moment. Mrs. Ashley, begging your pardon, I can't seem to find your coat.
Oh, not a problem. Montague must have collected it already. Thank you for looking.
My pleasure.
That did it. Let's see what required such impenetrable protection. let's see what looks good. Or more accurately, bad, on me.
Good evening again, ma'am. Where can I take you?
F-deck, please?
Begging your...
My sense of style is second to none. There's nothing for me to do there.
Where to, ma'am?
F-deck, please.
Ma'am, I applaud your perseverance. And that outfit is, indeed, more fitting for a seamstress than a duchess. But it is still a bit unmarred.
Oh? And what, pray tell, would you suggest?
I wouldn't be so bold as to suggest how ma'am should treat her clothes, if those are in fact ma'am's clothes. But I cannot in good conscience take you to steerage unless... how to put this delicately? Tatty them up a bit?
I can't do that. Wow. They must have thought it was a dead animal, which is just about what it looks like now.
Where to, ma'am?
F-deck, please.
Of course.
Hello again, George. Say, do you remember the lady back at the dock who took the boarding passes?
Yeah, but wish I hadn't. She keeps telling me what to do. She ain't me mum. You ain't me mum neither. Why do you want to know?
She's my mother, and she's the most important thing in my life.
What's in it for me?
Well, what could I possibly do for you, George?
I lost me game. Dropped it somewheres around here. If you can find it, I'll help you.
Your game? What does it look like? What type of game?
You hold it in your hand and try to get these little balls to go into the little holes. It ain't no bigger than a cigarette carton. Did you find me game?
Not yet, George. I'm still searching for it.